Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Yap Sesh with Crista again. We're here. We're going to be talking about the amazing digital circus again. Because that's what's going on right now. This is
Yeah.
also a VOD because we recorded this originally on live on TikTok. So this intro for the people that are watching on TikTok must be strange. Anyways, this is a live about the amazing digital circus and nothing else. Send money and I show taint. Sorry. Hello, Nicole. Circus. So I have a mutual who named Willow, and she kind of against her will, kind of because it just came up for her, watched the finale, the leaked finale of The Amazing Digital Circus, and she was disappointed.
That's what I saw. Someone in like a comment of some video was like, "Oh, the last video, what was it, like 14 minutes of it was leaked," and they were like, "Oh, the ending was ass. It was absolutely
Yeah,
awful."
it's uh, her main point was it left a lot of stuff uh, unresolved. Hi, Faith. It was a lot of character arcs just left on the floor. Like she,
Mm.
but I'm sure that there's going to be something in there that's watchable. I'm sure that it's not terrible because ultimately it is a retelling of a very simple story of an AI that was made by humans that then turns against humans. And we saw it turn against humans. We saw it do it multiple times where Cain, when it was created, just started consuming, and then creating a whole bunch of stuff. And then when humans retaliated against it and replaced him, it broke out, consumed its brother, and then started possibly being corrupted by itself. And
Mhm.
so, like, we already saw that it turned against humanity twice, even though rather than hating humanity, he is looking for their admiration. But it does see itself as higher than the humans that it is trapped with.
Yeah. So, talking about like just the people who have seen like the snippets of the final episode where it was spoiled, it was leaked, whatever. Um, What we need to remember is that Goose had come out with like one of those Q&As on Tumblr, and somebody had asked Goose, "What do you want people to take away from this?" And Goose had said, um, try to figure out how to live in a stagnant life. Like that's the whole plot of Digital Circus in a
Mm-hmm.
way,
When there
because
is
these,
no
I mean, these,
progression other than
there is
how
no
you
progression,
make yourself progress, because
and
they
I.
don't need to eat, your body will
Mhm,
never atrophy. The only thing
mhm,
that can change is your personality. And how often do
mhm.
people change those?
Right. Yeah, no, that's a pretty big constant, and it
Thank
seems
you
to
for the
be happening a
capybara.
lot. Um, but that is something. I mean, if the ending really, if the finale is relieving a lot of plot loss or holes,
I think
and
it's
there's not going to be a
just,
whole lot of
I think there are
development.
people, because my friend is a very big Ragatha fan. But
Mm,
Ragatha is not one of the main characters. So, what I see a lot of the fandom getting uppity about is that there are two main characters. There are very, very few characters in this show. Because there's the humans, and then there's Kane, and the AI is also just Kane. So anytime you interact with an I think that that's also just a version of Kane. So, really, it's just the okay. How many are there? there's 7 of them. There's
6.
seven characters. Sorry. So there's Kane and then the 6 humans.
Mhm.
And 2 of them are the main character. So 2 out of 7 people are the main characters of this show, and that's what makes people be uppity, because it's like, you have so few characters, why can't they all be main characters? But they're not. There's Pomni and Jax, who are the main characters.
I feel like that gives just enough. If you have enough characters in a show, you can at least pick 1 or 2 to
Yes.
just be the main focus. I think 7 is good, and 8 with Bubble, right?
Mm-hmm. But
yeah,
you don't
I
have
guess Bubble really
background
doesn't count.
characters. You don't have running gags with background characters, because again, all the background characters are just they are just the Kane, because they're all AI.
Yeah, and I mean, you think about it, with the few characters that they have, you have just enough to have some background given to these characters. You don't have to dive in too much, but you can still like give a little bit. Where we had like the backstory of Ragatha when she was talking at the bar about her horses and living on a farm, her mother, and then Zubul giving just enough information about their life.
Yes.
And we got more of a deep dive into Gangle when she was talking to, or when they had the Spudsy episode. You know, we got enough. The only person that we haven't gotten a real backstory to is Jax.
Yeah, and that's just because he's a withholding little piece of garbage. But
And I desperately need Jax and Kinger to have a moment where Kinger talks to Jax, and Jax like opens up about why he is the way that he is, and we're obviously going to get a background. We're going to get like a flashback to Ribbit, and I need to know what happened to make Jax such a sour individual, personality wise, and like everything. It has to be with Ribbit. Like whatever happened between those two, either they fell apart or had some kind of argument, and then like just Kaufmo right on top of that happening almost immediately afterwards. Like I need to know. I need to know about that bastard rabbit and what happened.
Here's the thing. Because he's one of the 2 main characters, we most likely will see his entire backstory. And if we don't, I would say that is a bad ending if we don't get any of his backstory. But I think that we will get enough that it will satisfy the Jax people. We'll get enough for Pomni to satisfy the Pomni people, and maybe we might get a few clips for everybody else. But because it's those 2 that are the main characters, because I think that people came in thinking that it was going to be like Friends, where there is the whole friend group is the main character. But like I think that a lot of people came in there thinking that, oh, we're going to have a Zubul episode, and you can get just as much from Zubul as everybody else. But no, Zubul actively is that their whole gimmick is, I don't want to be here, and so I won't be.
Yeah, and I feel like we were kind of going down that path with like, okay, the entire first episode was about Pomni, and then you had the second episode, and you had the third episode with Spudsies, and like that was all Gangle focused, and we were kind of going down that path, but then it just kind of fell off a little bit.
It just fell off. We didn't get anything else, and I guess kind of. Here's my thing. I think that the second episode, the scary episode, is that the second one?
Mm-hmm. That was number 3.
The scary episode's number 3?
With Kinger, yeah, they were in the Mildenhall.
I think that the third episode is Kinger's episode. I still think that the man who trapped an angel is an analogy for Kinger. I do believe
Potentially ruining everything and like
hurting the angel makes it hurt you back. It's untouchable, and now people get lured down to the basement so that they can get a new body, type of thing. So it's an evil version. Like you have to parse through the story, but I think that Kinger's story is in there as well.
No, that makes a lot of sense. It
Um,
does. Yeah, that was definitely Kinger's episode. It was like the Kinger and Pomni episode, but we definitely like him just talking about um
my wife always liked bugs.
yeah, just getting like a little bit, not giving us too much, but knowing that he
Mhm.
did have a wife and
Yeah,
he did something to cause her to no longer be in the circus.
yeah.
But I liked it a lot.
I am assuming because I'm waiting like a good boy and waiting for it to come out because even if the end of the story isn't good, even if the end of the story isn't good, I have enjoyed parts of the story and therefore I want to support the artist that made the parts that I like. That's why I don't pirate things.
Yeah. I will be going to the theaters
Mm-hmm.
June 5th. I will be going to theaters with a group of my coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
Um I was given a surprise ticket.
Oh,
One of my coworkers decided to buy it for me, and it's going to be 5 of us going. So we are all extremely excited to go. We decided to go to one of the later shows later, like 7:30,
yeah.
um to kind of like not risk having a whole lot of people there, especially since kids do watch the show. We don't want like, you know, we don't want any
Which is
obnoxious people
wild.
being.
Which is wild that like it's seen as a kids show. Just because they're not able to curse doesn't make it it's an adult show. I would say it's a adult show.
And
You
I
still
will, you know what? I have said this to one of my coworkers who has a daughter,
mm-hmm.
a younger daughter who has watched the show. And I was like, I don't know. I mean, rewatching the show is like, there aren't a whole lot of innuendos, but I wouldn't consider it a kid's show after
It's
watching
like
it
watching
myself.
it's like watching Family Guy with your kid. Like the jokes might go over the kid's head, but it's raunchy. It can get raunchy.
Yeah. But I mean, to each their own,
To
I
each their.
guess.
I
But
I can tell people how to parent because I am one. Mm.
yeah, unable to finish anime for some reason. I'm extremely picky about anime, but
Mm-hmm.
Digital
I
Circus,
I
getting back on track.
cannot stand teenage romance anymore. I'm 26 years old. I don't want to see teenage romance. I
Yeah.
wanted to try. I have seen very funny clips of Teen Wolf, and I was like,
Okay.
okay, let me go try to watch Teen Wolf because it was really popular back in the day, but
Hmm.
I didn't watch it.
Hmm.
I tried to watch the first episode. A lot of teenage romance. I'm like, I can't. No, just I don't want to watch two young children who are unappealing to me look longingly at each other.
Yeah, no, I
Disgusting.
absolutely get that. Isn't Buffy the Vampire Slayer, isn't that like a high school setting as well?
I have no idea. I never watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer either.
That was another thing that my ex was really into was Buffy
But
the Vampire Slayer.
no, but Buffy the Vampire if it has hot teens, I'm not interested. Disgusting. Half of them don't know how to properly wipe their ass. Statistically, the guys have dookie in their butt cheeks.
We got Dookie. We got Dookie butt.
Yeah. Uh,
No, they don't. They just don't make them like they used to anymore. They just don't make
they
like.
do. They're just not for us.
Oh. Anyway, the Amazing Digital Circus is the exact topic that we have been trying to get around to
I
for
have
how
no
long
idea.
now?
26 minutes.
The Amazing Digital Circus. I do have no.
Okay, go on.
I know the last time that we had stopped talking, or aren't on our last episode of Yap Sesh.
Yeah.
I really wanted to talk about the red and blue theory.
Okay.
Now, the red and blue theory, you notice how, like with the gun episode, they're all
Uh-huh.
with the gun episode. You see Jax is standing in front of a red wall, Pomni standing in
Yes.
front of a blue wall.
Mm-hmm.
You have
The colors of Jesus. Pomni is Jesus? No.
Pomni is Jesus. She's going to save us all. I want to talk about the red and blue theory. So there was foreshadowing with the red and blue button. When we made it to episode 7, people had started going back and they were like, oh, there is so much foreshadowing showing that everybody was going to want the blue button, obviously. and then the red button was going to be pressed by Jax. Again, if you haven't watched the show, then go watch it. There are going to be spoilers in this recording that we have going on. Okay. First, the red and blue theory, I'm just reading off here. The first shown when Pomni sees herself in the mirror for the first time in the pilot, and she touches her face with the blue gloved hand. And it's shown again in episode 2 when Pomni's nightmare shows her blue glove being abstracted, possibly foreshadowing the failure to hit the blue button in episode 7.
Oh.
During episode 5, in the anime scene, Jax is sitting closest to a red pencil case, while Pomni is closest to a blue notebook on the desk. During the President Pomni episode, Pomni asks if she should cut the red wire, and Kinger suggests cutting the blue one instead. At the end of episode 5, after the members have returned from the final adventure, Jax and Pomni walk towards a red hall, while the others walk towards a blue hall. Pomni wears both blue and red, explaining why she had a very hard time making the personal decision to press the blue button and asking if Kinger wanted to make the choice. In episode 6, Jax and Pomni stand in front of a split-colored wall. This is the gun episode. In episode 7, while the members are walking through Kane's office, Pomni offers her blue-gloved hand to Ragatha, while she holds the other's hands to her left, and Pomni offers her red glove to Jax. These are all indications, foreshadowing, right up until the blue and red button scene. And people started going off after episode 7 came out. It was insane how people picked up on that, because I am useless in this fandom when it comes to just theorizing. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I had never thought about this kind of stuff before. Now, we talked about the red and blue theory. There is another theory. Okay, what color does blue and red make? It makes purple. Okay. Kinger wears a purple robe, and Jax is a purple bunny. Okay, we know this. Very obvious. There is something that I had seen where Jax could potentially betray the group by, like, offing Kinger. And there was something that someone had posted about the order of which these characters had come into the game was like a chess piece set. Kinger was the first. And then whatever placement Jax was in was the rook, I believe. And the rook is I assume a chess piece that can take out a king on the chessboard. Okay, so, and that's, you also think about the intermission time sequence in the one episode where they just do a bunch of different adventures. Kinger, there was a bowling ball that was going to drop on him, so he pushes it up, and then a rook shoots out towards Kinger and knocks him. It was like black and purple.
So it's purple.
Like the bowling ball scene where like they get smushed by cakes or by the bowling balls.
I'm saying like, is the bowling ball Jax? No.
Well, I think it's the rook. I think the rook is Jax.
Oh, okay.
And the rook shoves him off of the chessboard over the edge, and with Jax's placement being the rook, and this was, I'm giving full credit to whoever had said this in the TikTok video, because I never would have made this connection by any means. But with the rook piece potentially being Jax, with the placement of when he came into the circus and the rook shoving into Kinger on the chessboard and shoving him off the edge, there is potential where Jax could betray Kinger and like actually take him out. But it could be for everyone's good if they have any way of getting out of the circus. And we don't know if they're going to get out. We don't know if this is going to be them in stagnation for the rest of eternity within the circus.
This is the bad place. No.
This is the very bad place. This is a very bad place for them to be in. And it is like...
How long are you okay being at the circus? Personally, how long are you okay being at the circus? And while...
I mean, well, I would be okay with being in the circus as long as there was something to do. And now that like there is no one there to create adventures or come up with adventures for us to go on. I mean, we could potentially manifest stuff. We could learn to manifest things and kind of
Mhm.
create our own areas now, but coming up with an adventure would probably be a lot
See, but
of
I think that
energy.
just being able to manifest stuff would be enough for me. I don't need an
It would be, I
adventure.
feel like
I
it would be fun for a while, but then you would get really bored. But this is something, it would be like doing homework. You know what I mean? Like they would need to come up with something
fair.
to
How long are
do.
you okay with being in the circus with Kane making up all these adventures? How long are you okay with that?
Now, are we talking about pre-God mode Kane
Pre God Mode
or
Kane. Like before, let's say Pomni never shows up and it's you.
okay? I think, well, I'd have a panic episode for sure. But I feel like after I grounded myself, I would be okay with it.
Uh huh.
After a couple days, for sure, I would just need to like figure things out.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I think I would be okay with it as long as I had something to do. Because eventually this would just be the new life. I would have to come to terms with being in the circus because there's
Yeah.
obviously no way out. So,
So what you're saying is
what would
fighting
your
against the system is pointless. No, go on.
no? But I mean, like, I just yeah, kinda,
Kinda.
yeah, kinda.
You know.
We just gotta roll over and
You,
submit. You know,
what else are you gonna do?
what would your avatar look like?
Oh, enormous. No. Um, whatever else it is, there's just a big old black. No, I'm sorry. I
Enough.
would.
I've had enough of you. I'm done.
I, I apologize. Um, oh, probably a Rock'em Sock'em robot.
Oh, that would be sick.
Just a Rock'em
Oh,
Sock'em robot.
that would be
I
really
can't
cool.
bend my
Now,
arms. I'm stuck like this.
no, actually, unless someone pushed a button on your back and you
Deesh,
like
deesh,
accidentally knocked the
deesh.
person in front of you.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh my
oh, you
gosh.
know Jax would like point me at someone and just go.
I was thinking the exact same thing. You're just having a good conversation with somebody, and then all of a sudden he just smacks your back.
Oh,
And
that would be
boom!
that. Just full on. That's how not Zubal's mask, Gangle's mask gets broken in
Gangle.
episode 1 is, oh look, a new guy. Dish, dish.
Jax would be like, "Oh, I can use this to my advantage. This is definitely
And
something that
Jack
I can
still
use."
falls in love with us.
Absolutely, yes. So, okay,
I can
with
fix
your
him.
mind files being scanned for your avatar,
Hmm.
why would it be a Rock'em Sock'em robot?
I'm very violence forward. No.
Okay.
um, oh, just how I view myself, someone that is not used to hurt other people, but uh, other people have to take advantage and control me to enjoy themselves, with the possibility of getting hurt.
Okay.
And also just because like when the head can go off, like when the head springs up, like I feel like that's what would happen if like I got upset. Like you'd see my head go up and then I'd have to pull it back down. Or maybe
Just be
that's
like,
my quirk, is like my head goes off and I can't move until someone puts my head back down.
yeah, you
That
just
would
kind of lock
suck.
up in position.
Yeah, I just lock up in position and uh oh, I can just see Kane coming over like, hey, Kane, help.
I could see that. That would actually be a really cool gimmick. I think that'd be
It would be
awesome.
terrible. But like, can we do some
No, I love
boxing,
it.
Kane? Absolutely. Douche. I'd go up against Bubble Man.
Bubble Man. Oh, Orbsman. Orbsman.
Orbsman, that's the guy.
That'd be pretty cool.
What about
Would
yourself?
his marble, like, he looks like he's made of marbles. Would they just, like, would they fall apart?
The, I'm so strong, just cracking marbles with my knuckles.
Or they pop like a bubble? Because he could also be, he just looks like he's made of, like,
He's
plastic
made
or
of
glass.
orbs. He's made of
He's
orbs.
the orbs. Well,
Is
like,
he
what's the
made
material of Orbs Man? What is he?
ones and zeros? Uh,
He's just ones and zeros. All right. Well,
what
if
are
we're
what's your avatar?
my avatar, okay, full. I'm
I'm
thinking like
also a
dragons.
rabbit, but I'm yellow. I'm a yellow rabbit with a pink internal. I don't know.
No, I think okay, it would obviously be like I would. So I would probably make like I would want to be a really cool dragon, but I feel like the way that my mind files would be scanned
Yeah.
would be like I would turn into this little dinky thing
Uh huh.
and just be so not intimidating.
Oh, you get to finally be a dragon, but it's one of those ones that no one will take seriously, and you'd be
Yes.
infantized again.
Yes. That would be so frustrating, but also I could use that to my advantage and just pick on Jax, like just kind of
Yeah,
run all over him.
you'd be a kobold. That's what you'd be. Short little
Cobalt.
kobold.
That would be cute. Just one of those little what do you call them?
You're marketable.
The
You're marketable.
the terrible terrors on How to Train Your Dragon, the
Yes.
teeniest little one.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's what my avatar would look like. Head is too big for the body, and
But
just not.
also enormous. No, sorry, bad dragon. Um. Uh.
That'd be
So
really
it
cool.
would see that you enjoy dragons, but then take the insecurity of being seen as unintimidating and mix those together.
Yes, I think that like because their avatars, like all of the characters' avatars, are something based on their own personalities,
Mm-hmm.
but their insecurities as well. Like Zubul is very crafty, very artsy. They know what to do. They are a craftsman in the bar scene. And then they also talk about how they were a tattoo artist and they draw.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're very artsy looking. They are abstract. They are a very abstract character, but that abstraction also comes from the insecurity of
Abstraction? No. Go on.
their body dysmorphia, you know, like they
Yeah.
don't know what to do with themselves, so that's what Kane scanned them as. And then Gangle, obviously, art student, but they
Falls
were like
apart.
they just
Unravels.
fall apart. They've got the depression, they have the tragedy mask almost on at all times, or like their comedy mask breaks all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got that, and I still think that Jax is a rabbit because he's a freaking test subject for the SCP Foundation. I am still, until the show is done, I am.
Everyone takes off the helmet. It's only been 5 minutes, and they are all in Gravity Falls, and
That would suck. Imagine if Kane and Bill Cipher were to get together.
what? Okay, Bill Cipher is a whiny little bitch who, I apologize. He's whiny. He blew up his dimension. Wah. And you did it yourself because you were too ambitious and you thought that you were better than everyone else, and now you keep the last remaining piece of your universe in your hat, and I know everything about him,
Kane.
but I
Kane,
don't.
Kane
Kane is needy.
desires he
Kane.
desires validation so much. What does that
Mhm.
say? I mean, they're both very toxic in their own
Oh
ways.
yes, very
Kane
much
is
so.
like the toxic alpha male who needs male validation, or he
Mhm.
just needs anybody's validation, but he is like AI. Bill Cipher is basically a god.
Bill
Like,
Cipher is Jax if he was Kane. Bill Cipher, nothing matters because I can change whatever I want. That's Jax. Bill Cipher is Jax, and that's why you like him.
I love Bill Cipher. I do.
Yeah, I know you
I
have a
am
type.
a
You have a
Bill
type.
Cipher
You have
ride
a
or die.
type for bad people. Yeah.
God forbid a girl have a type.
God forbid a girl has a hobby.
I can fix him. Okay, I can fix him.
Sure. He's gonna turn your face into worms. How about I rearrange all your holes in your face? Say less.
Say less.
What else is triangle?
Oh my god.
You got a rhombus in
Uh,
there? What?
what?
Just a bad pickup line for a triangle. You got a rhombus in there? The fuck does that mean?
Remember way back when. I have not touched this document
I
since our
I
last
think
episode,
the
but
worst ending possible is they all figure out that they are just mind files, that they're real person like I think the worst outcome is
Mhm.
they get to the computer again. Like the whole movie is them trying to get to the computer to log themselves out. Kinger pulls it up, and there's like a camera that they're able to access the camera of the computer. And there's recordings of their real life bodies putting on the headset, juddling around a little bit, and then taking it off and leaving. And they
Mhm.
realize, oh, our bodies are gone. Thank you for the dolphin, by the way, Connie. And their bodies are gone, and they're like, well, I don't want to stay here. Let's release our consciousnesses onto the internet.
So I think the Soma theory is becoming more and more of a solidified possibility.
Mm-hmm.
With like, and I wrote down here the Soma theory. They're all copies in the game, and their real bodies are still living in the real world.
Yeah.
And there's a vacant headset that's shown at the end of the pilot. Um, and Kane mentions mind files in episode 8. So
Yeah,
the
like,
Soma theory is like more and more of a realistic possibility.
hello, Anas.
Um,
Sorry.
but I think, yeah, I think that the Soma theory, they're gonna have to stay
I think
in.
that here I think it would be so funny if it ends up with all of them and going just living out semi-conscious in the internet, and Jax is Reddit. Jax becomes Reddit.
Jax just becomes the embodiment of Reddit, and
Yeah.
it's just, you know what I found very
Actually,
interesting. I found very interesting about the trailer for the finale, that
uh,
they're like, we ended episode 8 in like more of like a grayscale kind of
yeah,
color tone.
a limbo.
Yeah, but in little clips of the trailer for the finale,
Mm-hmm.
there were some very bright images, like they were walking down the red hall, and Gangle had, what I find very odd is that Gangle had that one mask, that normal mask on
Uh
again,
huh.
and everything in the background was super colorful. So I'm wondering if they end up manifesting an actual, like, if they manifest the circus back to its normal
What if they
state.
manifest Kane, like a better Kane?
I'm trying to
I,
think how that would work,
I'm
because
trying to think.
If they were to manifest Kane, Kinger is really the only one who knows what
Yeah.
Kane was like before the
Mm-hmm.
circus,
Kinger,
and
I
he,
feel like okay. So how about this? How about this? They get to the computer. They realize Soma theory is real, and they have a choice of turning off the computer and fully wiping everything, like kind of ego death. Like, hey,
mm,
we aren't people anymore, so just turn off the computer. We don't have to
do you,
exist like this.
do you think
Or
that
they
there are
try to
certain
make their world better.
characteristics?
Say
Do you
what?
think that they'll like delete certain characteristics of themselves if they were to do that and unplug?
I feel like that they if they were to unplug, I feel like they would want to wipe it all, like make it not abstract, not like just full on the same way they got rid of Kane. They just get rid of themselves because they're like, we're not real. We don't have to live in suffering. We don't have to live like this. Why are we? We have no value. Like that. Ultimately, Jax would be right. There is no consequences for them because they are not real. And so while that could be freeing for some people, they are still stuck in bodies that embody their worst characteristics. And rather than trying to change it and go through the hard process, why? I'm not real. Get rid of me. Like I feel like there's going to be another two button allegory where people like Jax is like, no, we can still make the world better. We can have fun. We can have we have power now. Now that we can manifest. Now that we can make the world however we want. And then everybody else who's just like, I don't want to be like this anymore.
Do
Like,
you
I feel like we
think
could
they'll
have.
be able to delete themselves, or will they have to have assistance from other characters to delete themselves? And then that leaves the question, who is the last one in the circus if they cannot delete themselves?
I, ooh, I feel like Kinger. Here's my thing. Here's my thing. I feel like you have to delete. Someone has to delete you. Kinger is the one that is deleting everyone because he's the one that's using the computer. And Jax, the entire time, has been very mouthy, been lingering around Kinger by looking over his shoulder to see what he's doing on the computer. And then when it's Jax's turn, Jax, I'm gonna delete you. Jax is the one left behind, and he completes the sequence for Kinger, and that is what is symbolized as Jax pushing him over the edge.
I like that a lot. Now, they will be able, I believe that they would, in that case, for that theory, they would be able to manifest another computer that would work perfectly, just like the one that Pomni had been able to grab from the red door through those offices.
Mm-hmm.
Because that one was simply manifested through just an exit door.
The
There was like
infinite
nothing else.
void.
It really was just an infinite void, and she just wanted out, but what
Mm-hmm.
is out? And she just went through all of these office spaces and then found the computer that just
Mm-hmm.
happened to work. So when she was able to manifest it for a second time, they can definitely do it for a third time, put up the coding for themselves, and
Mm-hmm.
Kinger would have to be the one to delete them one by one because he's
Yeah,
the only one who understands coding.
but that's
Unless like
why.
Gangle or Dougal has like some secret data
But here's the thing.
understanding.
That's why Jax is like lingering around him, like, oh, what is all this? I've never really gotten into coding, and he just
Mhm,
memorizes the different keystrokes. He doesn't know what it
mhm,
actually does. He just knows what the sequence is, type of thing. And this isn't me being like, oh, well, Jax doing this and self-sacrificing makes up for everything that he did over the years. But it
mhm.
would be something. It would be something.
Yeah. Hmm.
I feel like that could tie it all back up, where it allows them to manifest something. It allows Kinger to it'll answer the question once they get the computer. Oh, Soma's real, and then it's a choice of, so do we just keep existing? We aren't even the real us anymore, and that's the hard
Yeah.
question. Again, is like, do you willingly live in limbo just because you are afraid to not exist anymore? Or do you let yourself pass on because since you're not real, you acknowledge since you don't have to go on, you don't need to go on. Like, there's no point in living forever, especially if you're going to suffer the entire time. So making the choice to end your own suffering, end your own punishment. Like, so there's that theory where it can wrap everything up, where it's like Kinger, like even Ragatha can be like, Kinger, since I got in here, you were the only person I had for a very long time. Thank you. And it's like, it's been an honor. Click. Delete.
It's going to be a very bittersweet ending for sure. Whether it's like a really good ending or if it is as bad as these people say. I think the people who are saying that it's like an actual shit ending is just, I think they're hate watchers. I think that's this whole thing
Possibly.
that's going on.
That or the leak was on purpose and there's two endings. There's the good ending and the bad ending. That could be fun. But no, I just think that there was a leak. And
I
because we
feel
were
like
talking
that was
about mental health stuff and getting rid of ourselves and everything, I got a community strike on the live.
oh my gosh.
Oh no. TikTok, no.
Oh no.
It's fine. It's fine.
Can we say like self-deleting? Can we
I
say
hate
that?
that type. I hate that type of talk. I will not censor myself. Suicide. That
You're gonna get us banned.
uh, it's mine. I. Oh no! They're gonna take my channel. My
Oh my
hobby.
god.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that like the leak,
Yeah.
whether it was a true leak or not, 14 and a half minutes is a very long time to leak something, but that also
Yes.
feels like something that Gooseworks would do
Mm,
just to throw us off. And if it was a really
possibly.
bad ending, like that just seems like something that Goose would do. Because there's been so much that has gone through, like all of
Mm-hmm.
the little clips that they would, not the like video clips, but just like a screenshot of different episodes, like with Ragatha standing on the theater stage, and then Kinger being like, look, they're looking at
Is
each other for the
Gooseworks
first time.
American or are they Canadian?
That's a good question.
The reason I ask is because of the way that they can have medically assisted deletions up there.
Okay.
So, like, maybe that can be. Maybe. Canadian, I believe, says faith. That's the only reason I bring it up, is like, their society up there might be a little bit more okay with these characters deciding to not exist anymore.
It just says here that Gooseworks is an American YouTuber, musician, cartoonist, animator, director, and webcomic writer.
Okay.
Um, but it also says in the AI overview, I do not recommend AI. We don't talk about AI,
We don't talk
but it
about
does say
Bruno.
in the overview, in the Google overview, she's a British American YouTuber.
Oh, even worse. British.
Yeah,
British.
so sad, isn't it?
In it. My toast. My.
It's
Look,
I'm
I said
see.
this. I said this earlier. You gotta give the British a GG. You ruled the world for a century. Good job. You took over. GG. But you're garbage now.
And it also says here that the Amazing Digital Circus is an Australian independent adult animated web series.
This is. There's too many. I find it so funny that after it said that it will not be recommending my live anymore, I've gotten more viewers. I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. It hasn't taken us down yet. It's okay. Thank you for
Your
all
girl
being here,
Faith
Faith. I hope you're having a
said,
good time.
okay. I'm an old man.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're younger than
I
me.
was off today from work, but I am an old man trapped in this body. I don't know what to tell you. I am just an old man.
I'm just an old man.
I'm just an old man, and it's past my bedtime, Sonny. I gotta go to bed.
You
I still
going
gotta get
down?
ready for bed. I think I'm going to call it a night. But
Okay.
thank you for letting me join this live
Of
and this
course.
video. we're gonna have like a solid 15 minutes of digital circus
It's
content.
gonna be great.
Holy cow.
We got into stuff that I don't feel comfortable posting. And I now have 7 people to hunt down and get rid of.
Beautiful.
They saw our thoughts on stuff. We gotta get rid of them now.
That's
one
terrifying.
of them left. You think that's gonna save you just because you're gone? I'll get you. Anyways, thank you for coming on. Thank you all for watching. If you're still here, go away. Bye bye.